Hey, oh my god, I actually forgot. I sent you the Built to Spill Livestream link. Did you see it?
No, I did not.
I didn't either. Damn it!
I have not been keeping up with these live streams, which basically, in lieu of shows, different bands are putting out these videos, whether it's a classic show from years ago, or they get together and try to form some video link up and play a couple of songs. You know, you've seen Post Malone and Travis Barker did the Nirvana set.
Totally, 100%.
So
sick, dude.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
wait, so have you seen or listened to any?
No, I mean I actually listened to the first one today.
Today's live stream was sick, dude. Fucking loved it. Thanks for sharing the link. What was the band?
Oranssi Pazuzu.
Very cool, very cool. So I caught it afterwards because it was on YouTube. So I saw it 3 hours later because I remember the timestamp. It was sick, dude. Like, were they playing live? Do you know? Like, were they recording this now?
I don't know the answer to that. I believe what it is they recorded live and produced it. Probably did a little bit of video editing, maybe. I see.
It was beautiful.
I'm under the impression that they recorded it and then put it out. But anyway, Oranssi Pazuzu.
I agree. It was so good. I agree with you. They had to do it before.
So what we're talking about is Oranssi Pazuzu is this Finnish black metal band that are kind of just out of this world. They're definitely harsh metal. They're not for everyone at all, but they're unbelievable these days. And
they were sick. Will you say harsh metal or not harsh metal?
I mean, it's funny because at times they're you know, they have that like growling, harsh, like, you know, unclean vocals. And
dude, I wouldn't even use metal with their description. They were so fucking awesome.
Yeah, and their vocals are in Finnish, by the way. Mm-hmm. Just growled Finnish.
It reminded me of like fucking Pink Floyd at Live on Pompeii, which was my peak moment, my peak experience of like ever. Like that night was the greatest night of my life. The first time I saw Live at Pompeii, I was like 21. Anyway, it was amazing. But my moral of the story is like this sounds just like that, like where classic rock meets perfect rock.
Like I said, that's the first one that I've watched because
cool.
I mean, quite honestly, you can pretty much go on YouTube and find kind of whatever you want anyway, whenever you want.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I know our buddy Jacket was sending me some links to Pink Floyd. They were one of the first ones that I remember doing it, and I was like, no, I don't.
Wait.
I don't listen
Pink
to the
Floyd
post Roger Waters. Yeah, I was like, I don't watch the post Roger Waters stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm such a snob.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, so did you watch Phish on Tuesday? I've told you every Tuesday Phish does a dinner and a movie for free.
Yeah, you mentioned that in some other show. You know, it's funny. You know, there's a lot of bands out there that you listen to at a certain point in your life, and then you put them down for a long time. And Phish was one of those bands, and I actually saw them last December, and it was a blast. We had great seats.
Hey, tell me this: have you seen any of the Ben Gibbard shows? Like, he's seriously played like, I don't know, 100 days in a row, maybe 50, but he's just playing every day. Have you seen any of those?
I did not. Ben Gibbard is another one of those bands that like I listened to at a certain point in my life, and I know one of his songs was at your wedding.
Oh my god, that was my wedding song, dude. Yeah.
But right now I'm kind of, you know, agreeing to disagree with Ben Gibbard in a enjoyment sort of. Anyway, he actually was on Colbert the other night, and I watched a couple minutes of it. He played an original song called like during the quarantine. Yeah. It got stuck in my head for like an hour, but I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy that hour that it was there.
And by the way, my son Jasper's here, and he's looking at me like a crazy person.
As you started to describe earlier, Oranssi Pazuzu.
Dude, it was sick. Yeah, man. You keep talking to them. I had no idea who they were until you're like, fucking watch this. And I fucking watched it. It was sick.
Yeah. So, Oranssi Pazuzu, they're Finnish, and Oranssi means orange, and Pazuzu is this wind demon. Like, Pazuzu is the demon that possessed Reagan, the girl, in The Exorcist. Like, so they're like the orange wind demon, or the orange spirit of the wind.
Do you know why they're orange? Guys, colorblind?
I have no idea.
Okay, yeah.
But they do have this really cool video for a song on their previous album, which I can't pronounce at all. It's like, it starts with a V.
Finnish.
There's a lot, yeah. My wife has
cool,
Finnish
man.
heritage too, so I do feel a little bit of an affinity just because of that. Not that we've ever been to Finland or anything, but, you know, her grandparents or great-grandparents lived there.
Wait, so check it out. You told me about this. I saw it. I was about to tweet you back and say, hey, man, I missed it. And then I found out that, like, obviously it was recorded on YouTube. So I watched on YouTube. It was freaking amazing. Amazing. Like, I don't even like any genre of music anymore. I just like good music. And it was good. It was good.
Well, they're a black metal band. Like, they have the growling
Really?
vocals.
It was so good.
On top of that, though, they sound like that really, you know, trippy, freeform Pink Floyd of the late 60s. And at the same time, they take some of the 70s from, like, I don't know if you ever listened to New or Can, any of those bands
really.
from, like, the early, like, you know, 72 to 75 in Germany. They're playing.
Gotcha,
They had a lot of. They played these long. They're not even like jazz fusion. They're more you know, just electric jammy stuff. But it was very repetitive, and
you know, here's one thing. Check this out. So in college, I was really into a jam band that played at the Idle Hour, Beyond Rhythm. And, like, I think where, like, in hindsight, I got into Phish for a while, and then I moved out to San Francisco and I got into electronic music, was I really think I like the continuation of music. Like, it just keeps going. And I think that's a large part of industrial music. It just keeps going.
Right.
So when I was listening to on Zuzi P, I was like, man, it just keeps on going, and I love it. I just loved it, man. It felt so natural.
yeah. So what they played today was their newest album, which came out like in the end of April, I think. Six songs. It's about an hour. All of the songs are, I think the shortest one might be 6 or 7 minutes long, and then the longest one might be 11 or 12. And it's 80% instrumental. When they're singing, it's not singing. It's Finnish.
I agree.
Guttural,
man.
like, but it really goes with that
So
music.
Good. It does.
Yeah, this
nailed it.
is the first band that I've listened to that has that kind of more harsher, extreme vocals, the unclean vocals, and people will be like, "Oh, you're not a metalhead then." And I say
Wait,
that.
so how long ago did you hear about this band?
I heard about them when their last album came out, which I think was the beginning of 2017, like maybe April of 2017.
Oh, it was a bunch of years ago. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's about 3 years between albums.
Right. So
2 to 3 years.
yeah,
Gotcha.
they kind of started to take off then. Since that album came out, they did a 10-inch single with, you know, 2 songs on, you know, one on each side, were 7-8 minutes long each. And then they also did this split album. They got together with this other Finnish band, and they became this thing called the Waste of Space Orchestra. And
How do you even know this?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
I have it on vinyl.
I get it.
The band, so one is a 5-piece and one was a 4-piece, I believe. So there are 9 people playing together. It was just cacophonous.
Is that how you say that word out loud? I've seen that word before.
Yeah,
Cacophonous. He is like the Greek philosopher you've never heard about before.
Right.
Cacophonous, what do you think? I don't know, I think it should be crazy and loud. Thanks, Cacophonous and Socrates.
Yeah, like what you're saying about, you know, those bands that continue on and keep moving. One of those other bands that I, you know, over the last, well, really since the 80s, but they kind of switched over, you know, since 2010 is Swans.
Oh my God, amazing. I saw them at the Independent like a quarter mile from my house. It was amazing. They did the same song for 10 minutes. I love that.
Oh, at least.
No, I was with my dad, with my good friend Darren. He's the drummer in my band, and it was sick, dude. Like, it was cacophonous. It was so good.
What did they have? Like 7 or 8 guys on stage at times?
Sure did. All right, hey. So we were talking about live streams originally. I thought the live stream was amazing. I'm glad they put it up on YouTube right away. I super appreciate it. I got to see it. It was amazing. They did such a good job. Hey, I really appreciate rocking out with you and talking about these things. They're not important, but they keep me sane.
I was just gonna say touring and live shows may change forever.
Yeah, that's just a boring concept. You know nothing.
Oh, well, thanks for listening. Stay safe out there. And if and when live shows do come back, remember to keep your distance.
From me. All right, I'm Steve, and you're Keith. And thank you very much for tonight.